Manly Monday live. Oh, shout out Fallible Nation. Welcome to another edition of Manly Monday Live. And if you're a first-time viewer, thanks for joining us. We're excited to have you here tonight. We are so excited about what we got going on for you guys. So we're going to talk about the important subject of Recovery 101. This is a beginner's kind of thing. Everything you need to know about self-care. We're not just talking about exercise today. And while I know a lot of people will click on this link for that specifically, we're not just talking about how to recover from exercise. While people very rarely put as much effort into their recovery after workout as they probably should, myself included, they put even less into recovering in other aspects of their lives, guys. And when it comes down to it, your ability to recover and recuperate is critical. It is absolutely important that you have that ability. And so tonight, we're talking about how to recover because, guys, I'll tell you firsthand, this is a fresh subject in my mind because I totally burnt myself out hard in the couple of weeks where I had my conference and then someone else's conference. It was insane, guys, because I went from planning my event to speaking at someone else's event and doing a bunch of interviews. And I burnt out, guys. I crashed hard. I went down for a couple of days. And so, guys, this is really hitting home for me because I know exactly what I'm talking about here because I've had to get back on the horse and try and find my way back. And I appreciate you guys understanding that last week and letting me cancel the show because I was struggling just to get out of bed and get off the couch, guys. So Shirley, I see you there. Thank you so much. It's very kind. Katie, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for jumping on tonight. And guys, let us know what you think about the new time. We're trying to accommodate more of our listeners, guys. And it's really hard because you're spread all over the country, but we are absolutely playing with some time and trying to figure this out. It's going to stay on Monday nights. We just may move it down to 6 like this all the time, or let us know what you think in the comments. Tell us if this is a better time for you. Now, as always, guys, down in the description of whatever platform you're watching, we have a link. And if you want to join us live during the Q&A portion of the show, be sure and click on that link. And that way you can submit your question and tell us you want to jump on. That way I can send you an invitation, or Sarah will send you an invitation. And that way we can have you on live and we're not blasting your email to everybody in the world. Or be sure and just put a QQ around your question and we'll make sure we get to it during the Q&A portion. And guys, without further ado, I guess it's time to get into it. Guys, we're going to jump over here for a sec. You won't even notice that. There we go. Hey, I switched to where I want to be. Now, guys, tonight we are talking about Recovery 101. Now, this is a basic skill that everybody really needs to work out in their life because we all have times where we are either physically, emotionally, or mentally exhausted, and you can go to the point of burnout really easily, and it's not healthy no matter what kind of exhausted you're in. So how do you come back from that? How do you bounce back from that? It's really an important skill to acquire. It doesn't matter if you're a man or if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you're young or old. This is an important skill because stress is just a part of life that we all have to deal with. And there are good stresses and there are bad stresses, and understanding the difference is kind of important too. But how do you come back from it when you're just destroyed, when you're just wiped out? Now, maybe you're not a big workout person, guys. I promise this applies not just to your workouts. This applies to everyday life. This applies to every situation. Bet you didn't know that I could come up with a way to tie workout into everything, but that's what we're going to do tonight. But guys, point number one is you have to learn to listen. Now, that's funny coming from a talk show host or a podcast host, whatever you want to call me. That's funny, right? Learn to listen. The guy who never shuts up. That's my job, to talk a lot. But the fact is, your body is so much smarter than your head that it's ridiculous. The whole job of your body is to maintain homeostasis. It's going to tell you every time you knock it out of balance in any way, shape, or form. Your job is to stop and listen to the feedback and then make an educated decision from that feedback. I do mean anything, good or bad, will set it off in a way that will alert you. So it's important that you learn to speak your body's language and learn to decipher that feedback. For example, right? We all know the little soreness a day or two after the workout is generally your body conveying, hey, you challenge this muscle group and we're not really happy with you, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? That's just a DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, whatever you want to call it. right? That little soreness is just a sign. It tells us, hey, I did, achieve the workout I was trying to, and that's okay. I can put that to the side, right? I can ignore that. Or maybe you get killer DOMs like I do sometimes, and yeah, you can't really ignore that, but you have to just sail on anyways, right? But we know that one, we know what causes it, and so we make an educated decision about how to move forward, right? Easy enough. Likewise, your body will tell you other things when you're tired, right? When you're tired, your body is telling you that you need to rest a little more, or because you've exerted yourself physically, mentally, or emotionally. And that mental and emotional tired is even bigger, guys. It will definitely wipe you out. Okay, my wife's telling me there's a little bit of lag. I didn't hardline in tonight, so I apologize if there's a little lag. Don't worry, I'm still here. But, guys, when your body is tired, it might be a mental tired. It might be an emotional tired. It might not be physical. But if you're tired, it's telling you that you're not getting enough rest to sustain the way you're living. That might be that you need to bring your stress levels down, or that you need to increase your rest levels and intervals. If you're working out, it might mean that you need to take a step back, right? You have to decide, is this a mental, emotional, or physical tired? But your body is telling you, it's a red flag. Hey, something's not jiving, right? You have to learn to decipher that. It will tell you things about your emotional and mental state. If you're lacking drive, right? If you're having problems just getting going, it may be signaling that you need a different kind of rest. It may be saying, hey, you've been eating really bad and we don't have the nutrition we need to function at the level you want to put us in. That's a really big one that can get you. I was really guilty of that. That's part of how I got myself into the situation this last week. Is during my conference, man, I was eating a lot of sugar and a lot of caffeine and not a lot of really solid food because I was just going. My body said, hey, I need better nutrition if you want to keep functioning like this. You can't do that. Maybe if you're having problems with drive, it's more of a mental issue and you need to stop and realign yourself with your purpose or your goals. And you can find coaches or mentors or counselors to help with some of this, but the best thing you can absolutely do for recovery is you have to learn to listen to your body and listen to what it's telling you. Now, tell me what you think of that, guys. Shout out in the comments if you're joining us. Let us know you're here. We have Shirley online. We have Katie online. I may have messed with a few people changing the times. I don't know, but that's okay. We're going to have a great show anyways. I'm excited to be back here on this Monday night. I look forward to the show, even though it makes me a little crazy. But hey, that's just me anyways, right? Number 2, guys, is I want you to reinstall your drivers. I'm going to get a little nerdy on you here. One of the oldest jokes in the IT industry is, have you tried turning it on and off again? Sadly, as an IT professional with over a decade in this field, I can tell you it fixes way more things than most people actually want to admit. It will solve like 60% of your problems or more. The reason that it solves so many problems, however, is it reloads the system to its default. It resets everything to that base level and refreshes any corruption or glitches from, you might have had a program acting up, or you might have hit a website that tried to throw junk onto your computer that you didn't want, right? There are any number of things that could have happened. Doing a hard reset takes you back to point 0 and sets it to a base refresh and gets rid of all that. The fact is, we're a lot like that. That's why there's so many motivational sites and posts and others, right? I totally meant to get that picture of the cat hanging from a branch with the little hang on above it, but I'm sure that's probably copyrighted or something. YouTube would have taken it down. They have nuked me once or twice for it, so you never know. But right, I those motivational posters just make me laugh because they're silly, right? They're absurd sometimes, but they're really popular. However, external motivation is really shallow and it's not going to hold up long. So you need to reinstall your drivers some days to recover. What is your why? What is your intrinsic motivation? What gets you going from the inside out? What's inside you driving, right? So what's your why? Revisit your goals, right? We've talked about SMART goals many times. Revisit your purpose, your code, how your code that guides your life, revisit your gratitude points. When you examine all the things that you're grateful for, it helps you reinstall those drivers because it helps you reset to your base. This works equally well with physical recovery, emotional recovery, or mental recovery. Sometimes you just have to reload and go back. There are times I've been working out for years, and there are times I nuke my entire workout system and just go down to a very basic workout and let everything just kind of reset, right? I don't try and push. I don't try and get stronger. I don't try and get faster. I just put it in a maintenance and let everything reset for a little while. This works in all aspects of recovery. Now, guys, you are so quiet tonight. So many people are missing us. Oh, I miss everybody. If you know Dave or any of the other crew that's usually here, give them a shout out. Let them know, hey, you guys are missing out tonight. We're having a lot of fun, and Manly Monday is back. And let's keep going. Number 3, I want you to master the art of the little pause. We take everything to extremes. We want the trip to Hawaii to recover from everyday life, or off to Fiji. Oh, I need a mountain retreat to get past my work week, right? We go to extremes with everything. If you have the means and the ability to do that, great for you. For the rest of us who don't quite live in that reality, you don't actually need that giant trip to Hawaii. Maybe you just need a little pause. Just like you don't need a 30-minute rest for 5 minutes of effort, you don't need a 30-minute break for a couple minutes of intensive focus. You don't need a big reset for your daily life. Sometimes to recover and to keep yourself at an even keel, you have to master the art of the little pause. Now, that might mean taking 5 minutes at the beginning of your day and doing a little yoga, or having 5 or 10 minutes to meditate and focus. My wife really likes to start her day with her Bible study, and that is part of her check-in to reset and refocus and just pause before the day gets busy and do something to keep that mental and emotional and physical state in check, right? Also, to get back into recovery from when you've gone too hard, right? It comes back to mastering those little things that make our daily habits work for us. Now, while I don't recommend taking up any unhealthy habits, if you follow this channel wrong, my big reset is I'll take an hour and go enjoy a good cigar and just sit in my backyard and enjoy that break. Part of it is I won't waste a $15 cigar. And so if I light it, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy the whole cigar. It makes me take a time out from all the computer screens I look at in my 9-to-5 job and doing the YouTube thing. It makes me take a break and walk away from computers, breathe fresh air outside, breathe some not so fresh air that I enjoy, and it makes me pause, which lets me reset and start to recover. Find your little pause. It will bring with it mental, emotional, and even sometimes physical recovery. That's just like in the gym. We don't say, hey, you did your set, take a 30-minute break, right? You do your first set, you take a 90-second break or a 2-minute break, or if you're lifting really heavy, maybe a 4-minute break. You have to know. But then you get back to the next set. You don't go, oh, I did 5 reps. I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes. That's not a pause, and that's not a reset. That's just I'm done. So sometimes just mastering the art of the little pause will help you recover by keeping you out of that danger zone. It's a small recovery when you start to head down a bad path. What's your little reset? Let us know in the comments, guys. Shout out and let everybody know what your little reset is. What do? I go smoke a cigar. May not be your thing. Who knows? Sarah likes to read her Bible. What do you do to take that small pause and reset? Join in the conversation, share with the team, let us all know. And if you're watching this on the replay, guys, tell me in the comments. I love to read your comments. I will absolutely let you know that I've seen that and reply to you. Likewise, guys, if you see it on screen right now, if you're believing in what we're doing, if you think what we're doing is important and you want to help, you can get involved either on Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon as well and support the work we're doing here. I hate this part of the game, but let's face it, it takes money to do these things. We just had an incredible live event. And so, and to do those things, it takes money, right? So if you believe in what we're doing here, you can always support us on Buy Me a Coffee or on Patreon, or you can go check out the merch, guys. I've got tons of merch on the website, and sport your Fallible Nation colors and let us know you love us. If you do, take pictures, post us, tag us on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you post, and let us know that you're supporting our colors, guys. We love to see you in our gear. Now, on with the show, and enough with the business. I hate that part. Number 4, guys, I want you to embrace the reset, okay? Now, we've already gone through 3. There is a point where we have to embrace the reset. We have to take the time out, whether we want to or not. One of the hardest things we struggle with in our modern culture is busy culture or hustle culture or whatever other nonsense title you want to throw on it. Hustle culture, busy culture is what is just dominant in the world today. Everywhere you go, people are like, work, go, 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 go. You used to hear more phrases like, you can only do what you can do, or you're only human, or you did your best, it's all you can do, right? Those were things that I heard growing up because everybody knows there was a limit. Well, at this point, we rejected our own limitations and decided that we can outwork, outtry, or outgrind every human limitation. It's kind of humorous to watch. I'm the first to say that most people can do way more than they think. We talk about how to do that all the time here with different techniques and different ways to try and achieve more or try to grow and bundle in a little more than you think you can do. But let me also say there is a line, and it can become very dangerous very quickly when you play too close to it, and even more so when you do it for extended periods of time. As an example, like I said, I just crashed hard, guys. 2 weeks of just going nonstop, running hard with multiple events. I was totally unprepared. I woke up just shut down. I'd go to bed, I'd wake up, I'd be even more tired because I wasn't even getting quality sleep because my body was so fried and tired. So you can walk that line, and it gets really unhealthy and really dangerous very, very quickly. Shirley says, when you help others who can't help you back, you get healed because you're where Jesus is. That's a great way to reset. I love focusing on helping others. That's always a great way to feed your soul and to just, fuel yourself as well. Now, guys, in the gyms, we talk about working in cycles, right? We have more intensity and less volume, or more volume and less intensity. We have deloads, max effort weeks, upper lower splits, body part splits, blah, 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 gym conversation. I won't bore you all. People who train seriously know that the body can only sustain certain things in cycles for varying periods of time. You can only push so hard before you get yourself into more damage and trouble than the good you're getting out of it. That might be by how hard you're pushing yourself or how long you're pushing yourself at an extended rate. And we know that in the gym world, but we tend to forget that in the rest of the world sometimes. Your mental and emotional state are exactly the same. There's a time to grind. There's also a time to rest and recompose yourself for the next grind or the next project. I was talking to one of my guests a while back, and he talked about that. Like, he puts it down on his calendar, and he does a hard 6 weeks on whatever project he's doing next, where it's just, hammered away, hard 6 weeks, right? But then he'll take a week break at the end of that 6 weeks. He gives him 6 weeks to go super hard and get the project done, or get as far as he can on the project. Then he takes a week breather because he's at a point where he can, and reevaluates and rests and recuperates, regroups, and goes again. So have some grace with yourself and realize there's a time to embrace the reset and regroup. You got to enjoy the rest sometimes. You have to feed and nurture yourself. mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You can't just go nonstop all the time and expect to be okay. It's going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to hurt you in the short run, and it will catch up to you because we're only human. And whether we want to admit it or not, myself included, all this is coming back at me, guys. There is a break point where you have to stop and go, okay, I tried little pauses. I tried, re-examining everything. Maybe I need to take a couple days, and it varies. Okay, you have to be really careful. Don't take, as we said at the beginning, don't take a huge break when you need a small reset. But you have to feed yourself, nurture yourself, and give yourself a chance to recover. Just don't get comfortable and stay there, because that's where we get in trouble. Shirley says, I love to play the game of paying it forward, doing things for others without them knowing who did it. That is a fun game. I've been the recipient of that once or twice. Had a cup of coffee paid for one time at a drive-through. No idea who was in front of me. It was great, and it definitely put a smile on my face. So that is a great game to play, and you can play it in varying ways. But back to that, helping other people, focusing on other people is a great way to reset for yourself. Now, guys, here's a suggestion for you. We talk about this on the show all the time about time blocking and working your schedule to be the efficient way that you want to be. I had a customer ask me one time how to prevent an outage she had from happening with her electronic device. I can say server, I think that's general enough. She had a major failure with her server, and it took the whole thing offline, and she was freaked out about it. And she asked me after I got it back online for her, because that's what I do, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? And I told her it's this simple. Plan an outage when it's okay to avoid the outage when it's not. It's just as important sometimes to plan on your calendar in those non-negotiables like family time, parenting time, time with your spouse, time for yourself to nurture your soul, to read, to learn, to grow, to meditate, whatever you like to do to feed yourself. Those are non-negotiables on your time blocking. There's a time for all that. There's also a non-negotiable that should go in every now and then, and that's here's 1 hour this week. I'm not working. I'm not doing anything. I'm not focusing on anybody else. I'm going to take this hour and I'm going to read a book because that makes me feel better. That nurtures me. I'm going to take a long shower. I'm going to do some yoga because I haven't been feeling as good as I want to. I'm going to make sure I get in the right time block that in. If you plan breaks, it keeps you from breaking down. Now, guys, I want you to schedule that downtime for basic maintenance and health so it doesn't happen because you did what I did and neglect yourself and let yourself get trashed because you went and didn't account for anything. Don't get into the burnout game. It is not healthy. It is not fun. And it will make your life a whole lot better when you don't have to try and negotiate that, because trust me, that unplanned downtime will cost you a lot more than an hour or even a day of planned downtime every time, guys. Now, that's basic recovery, okay? We covered 4 things. We covered learning to listen to your body, because your body will tell you what you need. You have to learn to listen to decipher it. You need to reinstall the drivers. What is your purpose? What gets you going? Why do you do the things you do? What motivates you intrinsically? You need to master the art of the master the art of the little pause, because it will keep you from hitting that burnout stage a lot of times. And it's enough to nurture you. But there's also number 4, when you just need to learn to embrace the reset, because every now and then you absolutely have to do a hard reset, get back to your foundation, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally, and let your mental, physical, or emotional state have a reset and start again and just heal so you don't have major unplanned outages, right? Most things that get us in trouble is when we have a emotional reaction because we're exhausted or we're just worn out or we're run to the ground and we just don't have anything else left. That's when we say stupid things to a loved one. That's when we get in fights with friends. That's when we make bad choices with our eating habits, our exercise or lack thereof. It's when we get too exhausted, when we push ourselves too hard and we're in that exhausted state. It's not a good time to make any decisions. So plan for the pause and plan for the resets. Give yourself a half day every week or whatever you need to just plan and reset, and it will make your life better and it'll help you recover, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, guys. I guarantee it 100%. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I love having you guys here and spending this time with us. Let us know in the comments, was 6 o'clock better time for you guys? What do you think? Share it with your friends. And if you're watching this on the replay, guys, drop a line. Let us know you were here. We love to talk to our people. Welcome to the Fallible Nation. You are a part of our world now, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say. As always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. We'll see you on the next one.